tshepiso ga e tlhabise ditlhong re nna le mo eng wa rona o ke le tshepisitseng yena gore o tlebe ana le rona gompieno re mo tsaya ka mogala Advocate Mofokeng. Advocate Mofokeng, are you there? Welcome to Aganang FM, the Mogore Tswelela mo Aganang FM. Ra go amogela mo lenanong la rona la re bua molao on this show. Advocate, how are you?
I'm fine, Nfsas.
I'm okay, Advocate. Advocate re go memile gompieno gore o tlo buisana le ba retsi ba seromamoa sa Aganang FM. Gona le kgang e leng gore e tsusitse kagaruwe ka Setswana. E tsusitse lona ba Sotho le re e bakile ditaba lefatsheng lena la ha rona la Afrika Borwa. Taba ena Advocate ya mani le kharebele leng gore mo bekeng e fitileng kgotlatshekelo ile ya moatlola ngwaga di le 5 ko kgotlatshekelo se lona ba bueledi le sebitsang direct imprisonment ba molatofatsa ka taba ya gore or ka khanya gore o utswitse madi ya nong ke batla gore o irele moretsi dilo tse motlhofu wena ya ka advocate Mofokeng. Now before re simolla just tell the listeners Advocate Mofokeng ke mang ke motho a kae?
Alright, re ke dumedise ba mamedi ke tla bua Sotho ke tla tsenya Setswana mo le mole mara re ke dumedise ba mamedi ba Aganang FM. Advocate Mofokeng o practice haholo di plekeng tsa Carltonville, Fortville, Randfontein, Western area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Advocate re go bitsitse ka moitsana pe mo letlhakoreng la criminal law. Ke a itse gore o kwakwadibi ga go tluwa mo criminal law. Now ke batla gore ha re simolla o go bolelle moretsi ga re bua ka khanye ya theft re bua ka eng?
Ndadara matsosa le ba mamedi ha re bua ka theft tlamela re utlwisise gore re bua ka honka ntho ya motho ka ntle ho tumello ya hae wenka ka maikemisetso a se ikhutlise ntho eo tlamele e be ntho re bitsang property and ho etsa jwalo ha ho nka seo ha wa tlameha ho ba molaong ntho re bitsang unlawfulness.
Yes.
Ke tla hlalosa nako ntse ya hore ha re sebetsa ka dinyewe tsa criminal bona ntho tse re bitsang di element.
Yes.
Mo loreng re sheba taba ya hore di element tse molao o di beileng hore motho tlamele a nke seng ntho ya motho ka ntlo makemisetso and then ebe ntho re tsebang jwalo ka property and then ebe ka ntle ho molao which is unlawful and then ntho ya bohlokwa ho be le maikemisetso which is the intention ya ho nka ntho eo and then ha le khotla le ka la thola hore di element tse nne tse re buang ka tsona e lo reng ke tsa theft ha le khotla le ka thola hore ha o le mokusua o di committee le kaofela ba khotsofetse hore hona le boikemisetso ba go nkile ntho ka ntlo makemisetso wa nka property ya motho ka ntlo tumello ya hae wa nka ka hore ka nka tse ikhutlisa le khotla le tla thola lo molato ka theft, what you call theft boshodu.
All right, now o tlhalositse dintho tsena kaofela hore e tshwanetse e nne ntho ya motho kore that thing must be a property that belongs to someone.
Yes.
And then ntho ena e o yetsang ore e tshwanetse be se molaong unlawfulness.
Yes.
And then o na le maikemisetso a ho nka ntho ena.
Ntate.
Yaanong ha ntse ke utlweletse Ntate Mofokeng o repeata lefoko lena ho nka. Jwale mo situationeng ya mme ona ntho e makatsang batho haholo ke taba ena ya hore motho ona ke ntho ya mang ya inkileng hobane ha re utlwa ile hore ntho ena tšhelete ena e fihlile ya kgelwa ka hara mokotla wa hae wa banka kore ha hona mo ileng teng ba fihlile ba ya kgela ba re leke ka hara account ya hae ha ba iritse ba re leke ka hara account ya hae le yena e tsa e re leke hobane ntho ena e tlile ho yena ha e latella
ya Ntate Ramatso utlwisisa ha ke bua ka nka a gere tšhelete e kentswe accountong ya hae hona mo hore a tsamaye a tseba hore e kentsweng ka hare account ya hae a se ena na lebelletse ke mo phoso e qalang teng ha ke o le ka o atametsa hore ba mamedi ba nkutlwisise hona le ntho e re bitsang a moral duty and a legal duty mamedi lapeng a ka nahana hore ngwanena ha re batho ba kenye tšhelete ka bankeng empa batho ba ikentse yena a enka e sebedisa empa ha re sheba setho a ke go tsebe molao o tsamaya le di-morals moral duty motho e mongwe a kana re le nna ke le tjena ha ba ka e kenyang ka eja empa setho le botho bo re ho wena ke tla o legal duty ka mra motsotsonyana ka moral o bona tšhelete ke ena ka ro bank ha o tsebe ke ya mang o tlameha hore jwale ka motho ka setho o khutlela morao o ya ho bank hore ke bona tšhelete ke ena nna ke tsebe hore ke ya mang ha bank sa o fika ya hore tšhelete ke ya mang ke re tla bua na go tla mara ha bank re shebe o tsalang ha na ile ko bank a fika report go bank gore ke bona tšhelete ke ha ke tsebe ke ya mang a setho bank le tla ka diphuputso ho fitlhela mongeng wa tšhelete a e kentseng ka phoso ho yena
okay Ntate Mofokeng e tshware fela yalo mo buang ka bank hona le situations tse o kreang o fitlhela ho twe account ya motho e freezitswe because hone ho kene tšhelete e ngata ka hara yona e leng hore banka e suspecta hore tšhelete ena e ka tswa e le proceeds tsa crime or a fraudulent transaction e irahetseng yaanong why mo situationing se sa le kharebele ntho e yalo banka e sa ka ya etsa pele motho ngwana nona a qetella a jile tšhelete ena
utlwisisa ha o ya bank o lo bula account hona le terms and conditions
yes
hona le tse di bitang di file print tse le tse sa di kgathalleng ko fatshe kwa
yes
ke mo ba placeang ntho di bitang a legal duty
yes
ya hore ha o bona tšhelete o sa etsebeng o go bona tšhelete nyamela accountong ya hao o na le matla wa o tla o rona batho ba tshwere tšhelete ya hao o re botsa re ho kene tšhelete kapa ho tswile tšhelete ha go utlwisise kene jwang e tswile jwang
yes
it's a legal duty
yes
ha e tshwane le ya moral
yes
ba sna di moral e re sa ha ba di moral ba sa utlwisising di morals ha ke tšhelete ke ena o tlo eja mara ka ena ya legal duty molao o re ha e kena o sa etsebe tswa mang o sa expecta go tswa mang nka to reporter
but are eme bikinyana mo yona khanye ya gago ya moral duty
ntate
as a lawyer you know gore your morals tsa one person cannot be the morals of the other person you understand now
yes.
now let's assume or let me not even say let's assume, what happens if this lady would have argued that I did not have any moral duty of disclosing this thing that comes to me? And the reason I'm saying this thing, before you even get to the legal duty, ke palamisa kgang ya taba ya hore ha ne le hore le kgarebe le ikra le mo situation ya le hore mapodisi ba fitlhetse sengwe mo yena mo ntlong, were they going to exercise the moral duty before they arrested, or they were going to exercise the legal duty?
Maponesa a tlo sebedisa a legal duty.
Okay.
Moral duty o salana le ena hore ke ne ke lebelletse 1,400 rand. Mare ke bona accountong ya ka ke kgona ntsha 140,000 rand.
Yes.
Ke nana gona le phoso e etsaetseng. Then it cost our bank investigate go phoso e etsaetse kae. Ba gona detect where the problem is.
Okay. But now let's go to this issue, the legal duty. Khotsa maikarabelo a nana le one go ya ka semolao ke afe ha na bona tšhelete a eleng gore moreetsi le ene o reditseng o eleng gore ka moso a ka iphitlhela a le mo seemo se se tshwanang le sa mane ga a tsoga maphakela a fitlhela gore go na le madi mo accountong ya gage ke eng sa tshwanetseng go se dira?
Go gore a ye ko bank gore ke bona ho na le 2,000 ka hara account ya ka ne ke sa expecta from anyone.
Yes.
Ne ke kopa le botse sentle hore madi tšhelete e tswa kae.
Yes.
If bank e na di karabo ba tlo kgona ho tseba re tšhelete ena e tswa ho Ntate Ramatshosa.
Yes.
Ka tla sama ba ka tsena le tšhe.
Yes.
Mara ha isna di karabo tse jwalo hangata bank e tlo freeze account, investigate hangata if isa tlo di karabo ba tloela ba tswa ho ena ba re tšhelete ke yo ha re tsebe le gona re tswa kae. Mara mo mamedi ha tšhelete ke ena ka ro account o na le legal duty ra a ema lo botsa hore ke bona tšhelete ka ro account ya.
Yes.
Ha ke tsebe ne ka expecta 5,000 mara ke bona ka account ya ha ke tsebe tswa o ma.
Jale Ntate Mofokeng ha ke tsebe gore go hetella pele. Now the issue ya e we tlhalosang, let's now take a situation where a person is walking in the street and then ga tsama mo strateng rona re gotse ka Setswana gona le so se se bitswang go thola ko tonapa ka Sotho. O bona kgetse o re wa sheba gore kgetse ena le eng ga o re o fitlhela ena le tšhelete o boetsa o tsamaya ka tšhelete o ya kwa gago o sentse no committee crime ya theft ga o irile yalo.
Remember Molao ore it must be a property of somebody.
Yes.
If uta strateng ha ona motho a tlang a claim hore ke latlhegetswe ke tšhelete.
Yes.
It is unfortunate if usna complainant maponesa a ka leka hore are it's a suspected stolen property.
Yes.
Impa ha ba etsa di investigation ba thola hore ha una complainant a re latlhetswe ke tšhelete ka beke o etsala so go tlo ba difficult hore mmuso o prove hore tšhelete eo e belonga ho a particular person. Then the person at that situation, if there's no complaint, there's no complainant, then the moral duty comes in. You go and report to the police station or you go home.
So how o report ko police station? Now let's say o tsena ko police station ka yona kgetsi eo ebe mapolisi a no ba go ra ba re you are in possession of suspected stolen goods ebe ba re ba go tswalla mo situation e ya lo ya no o ira ya.
All right, Molao tlamele o prove hore how about it's suspected, how king e tsamba na hane hore tšhelete e utswitswe na.
Tla ke re ba go botsa gore o tsaya kae madi ao wena o re mo bona gore no ke thotse madi a. ha ke le mo tseleng gore ke thona pile tšhelete e ha ena monga yona ke thotse ke itsamaela.
All right, ha ile jwalo ntate ha una offense committee way ha una offense committee way because ha ke so hopole ke kopana le ntho re bitsang res newlies in a form of man which has been abandoned. But if motho o thola 20 rand or 50 rand ko strateng ana motho a re na ke kata o idea and that ke le hlonono le ba ha ba batla ba moshebetsi le modimo tla ba moshebetsi.
But now ntate Mofokeng a re khutlele mo ya mani he mani le moteng di pego di re Walter Sisulu le Nfsas ba itlhatsitse matsogo in as far as it relates to this money le gore a se di complainant mo casing.
All right, utlwisisa ya memani ho etsaetseng Nfsas e file Walter Sisulu tšhelete Walter Sisulu ya appoint a third party which is Intelimali gore re kopa ebe lona le tla re administratela tšhelete o di student.
Yes,
and then Intelimali ya ba yone e tsang phoso ya gore e kenya tšhelete ho mane.
Yes,
ka tsela eo Intelimali ke bona di complainant.
Yes,
ka baka la gore ke bona bana ba tlamele ba fe di student tšhelete phoso kapa bohlaswa bo bile saeteng la bona la gore ba kenya tšhelete le gore ine e sa tlane ba ikeng empa bana le tokelo gore ba re tšhelete eo ke ya rona re ne re fuwe re fe di student ile ho mane ka phoso. That is why ke re memani una tsamaile jwale ka ha a tseba gore o lebeletse 1400 ne tlamele o khutletse morao re ke lebeletse 1400 ke bona 14 million o etsala eng moral duty.
Now ntate Mofokeng o buile le ka ganyengwe ya gore motho o tshwanetse bana le maikemisetso intention.
Yes,
a hore a tsele monga ntho eo permanently deprived owner a mo tsele thepa ya hae forever as I khutlisa.
Yes,
now in the situation America re money o tsugile mosong o a tsugileng ka one tsa la fitletseng gona le 14 million o nana le di intentions tsa gore a tsele monga madi a a gagwe ebile a ska tlhola mo busetsa one na.
all right, re ke go bo mamedi theft kapa boshodu re bitsa a continuous act.
Yes,
ase e o ka etsa 2 minutes o botswa o yona ya continue memani o e sebediseng ha hae a tseba hore ha tlama o e sebedisa ke yona e etsang hore le khotla le fihlelle ma qetong ya hore o nana le maikemisetso a honka tšhelete ka ntlo o e khutlisa.
okay, e re ke go botse gape potso e re Mofokeng tla re o ya ko a dealership ya dikoloi o reka koloi ka sekoloto ga o fetsa go approve eng o tsa koloi eo ga o fetsa o tsa koloi eo bo rena nka se ba patele not going to pay anything o no irile le debit order sorry o change account number e leng gore ba tshwantse ba debit ko teng mari a sa tlhola tsena ko bang ba ntwe ba koloi ha ba khone gore ba kreye madi mo wena anymore. They can't get their money. Ba batla koloi ya bone, they can't get the car, and again they can't get the money. Can a bank now go and say gore wena ga no reka koloi eo o nona le the intentions tsa go iutswa or to permanently deprive them that particular car and then ba go tshwarisetse theft instead ya gore ba batla koloi ya bone back?
All right, utlwisisa mo koloing ke di issue tsa law of contract.
Yes,
where two parties agree that you give me the car,
yes,
I'm going to pay you over the period of months.
Yes,
and then after some months I become the owner.
Yes,
and then when the other party decides to naksa patala, and then the bank has an option. Yeah, court if it request an order, you report the koloi because he breached the contract.
Yes.
But it won't be easy for the bank to prove that you had an intention to steal the car.
Yes.
Remember, the relationship is starting like a contract.
Hey.
You give me the car, I pay you over a period of months.
Yes.
And then the other party defaulted, which is the person who has the car.
Yes.
What the bank can do, if after getting an order to repossess, and then the person decides to run away, go and stay in Tau while his address is in Krugersdorp or is in Carltonville,
Yes.
the bank can institute a claim or an offense, but it's what you call use of a motor vehicle without the owner's consent.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, okay, fine. I'm hearing you for what more situation in a bank le motole ne bana le contract. But now, let's say now more situation in motho ore okay, madi a ona ki ile ka tsa iritse ke a bona ke le mo accountong. Tla re mani ore no nna ke ile ka berekisa madi a but ene ke ipoleletse gore ga ele gore banka e ka tsoga ka moso ere e batla madi a yone kgotsa mongwe a starta claim madi a o ke tla mmusetsa ona a mmele gone mo ne sentsane re kare ga re no ke batla go busa madi a ya ka re setse re bone gore gona le rakgwebo mongwe o leng gore o stantshitse 500,000 ne ya gore e bile a bitsa other business people gore no they must also contribute monga tšhelete a busetswe tšhelete. Now let's say gore mani o na ritse no tšhelete e tsene nna ne ke sa itse gore ke a mang e bile maikemisetso a ka ne se gore ke utswetse mang kapa mang ke ne ke akanya gore maybe badimo ba kwa mani ba nkgopotse that is why ke jele tšhelete e ke jele mare ha ke setse after all these transactions se ke di rileng tse 73 ke ile ka decide gore e re ke eme ke bone gore gongwe mongwe a madi a o tla tlhagella ga bua mantswe ya le gore no ne ke ipoleletse gore ha mongwe a tšhelete a tla ke tla ira arrangement a gore ke mo patela back ya a sentsane le theft le mo situation e yalo
o ka gona o e solve ke nana go ba bueledi ba Nemani, they were blinded with the fact that the error was on the part of the service provider,
Yes. Yes.
What they were supposed to do was supposed to say, at the present moment, can't we settle the matter out of court?
Yes.
And request that the said money be paid over a period of time.
Yes.
Yes. Or they institute a civil claim against Nemani.
Yeah, there's a school of thought that says situation ya money le your the service provider, it was civil in nature, it was never criminal in nature. Kore ka mantswe a mangwe batho ba o sene ba tshwantseng ke ba se irile was to just sue that woman for the money e leng gore o e jele tla kere maybe let me stretch it further remofukeng tla re tse gore maybe ke romella motho madi a ntshepisa gore o tla tla mo nna tlompona ke be ke mo tsenyetsa madi ka e-wallet a ba satle a menka ya ko kgotlatsheko mapolising kgotlatshekelo be ke ba ra kere ke tsentse tšhelete mo accountong ya motho ka phoso ke mmulela case ya theft.
Now if utlwisisa Ramatos if uya ore it was by mistake,
yes,
then the bank must inform the person to say there's the money that you received.
Yes.
It was deposited in your account by mistake.
Yes.
If the person says no, the person that deposited the money is Mr. Ramaphosa, I know him personally.
Yes.
Then the bank will say go back to the person that you send the money because he says he knows you. There's a relationship.
It's
not by error.
It's mo remofuke. Before ya go tautona o tlo bua le batho ba re tla tswella pele after the address of the president. Mare sentse re mo emetsa re tswelle pele. Now are tle mo yone kganye. You say if the money was deposited by mistake in the account, now you go to the bank and the bank will talk to the account holder and says, gore madi a tsene mo accountong ya gago ka phoso. Then we're not explain a relationship ya gago le motho o tsentseng tšhelete. A kere?
Yes.
Now mo situationing A, mani o na le relationship le Nfsas, correct?
Yes.
And then madi a tsentsweng mo accountong ya mani a tswa ko Nfsas through another service provider, kere? But I believe the reference would have said Nfsas.
Yes.
Now, why was it difficult for that process we explain ile? In the process salon morago. The service provider o ya ko banking are no. Gona le madi a kene mo accountong ya motho mongwe ke madi a makana. Now the bank then speaks to money, says, hey, o tšele tšhelete ne le gore a se tšhelete a gago. Return it instead of them going the criminal way.
Yes, that Ramatos. Remember, money and Nfsas.
Yes.
Their contractual agreement, Nfsas itamofa 1,400 rand a month.
Yes.
Now, there's 1.4 million in her bank account.
14 million.
14 million, yes.
Yes.
14 million, my apology.
Yes.
That is not the agreement. That is not the agreement. When let's say you speak to a particular person or how much do you need to come here?
Yes.
About 3,000 will be sufficient. And then Abasa fulfill the promise.
Yes.
And then the bank calls that particular person and says, Mr. Ramatosa says he deposited money in your account by error.
Yes.
The bank will want to establish the relationship first.
Yes.
And then says, no, it's my cousin, I'm supposed to go to him, but I can't because of 1, 2, 3 reasons. He said, how much did you discuss? And the person says it's 3,000. Then the check amount in the account is 3,000.
Yes.
Then it start to confirm it start to confirm that person expected 3,000 from you. You understand?
Yes.
But in this instance, the situation is different. Memani expected 1,400 rand. She got 14 million. And at that particular moment, I'm still going to the issue of the legal duty.
Yes.
She had to go back to the person and says, I've got more than what I expected.
Yes.
What is happening?
Yes. Now. So, in essence, all that I am hearing you saying is the issue of accountability on the part of money.
Yes.
Now, is there no accountability on the part of the person who does 14 million instead of 1,400 now?
Remember, that person can say, I've made an error.
Yes.
I deal with so many accounts every day of my life.
Yes.
Hence, I did not detect that instead of 1,400 rand, I deposited 14 million.
So
it's an error on her part. She did not commit any offense on her part. It's just an error.
But again, it's an error on the part of money to eat the money that was not her money.
One cannot say it's an error, legally speaking. The person who authorized made an omission, putting it legally so.
Yes.
It's an omission.
Yes.
Her omission cannot be a commission on Miss Mani's account.
But okay, fine. Again, on the issue, you're not this intention because you are speaking about this intention.
Yes.
Now, how does the court then get to? Because intention it's about maikemisetso a me gore no nna ne ke na le maikemisetso a go utswa. So now I'm saying gore maikemisetso a me ne le fela gore mari a mphitlhetse ke le mo seemong sa e le gore ke sa tlhoko ke ne ke tlhoka ne gore I was in need, and because I was in need, it's my need that reacted more than any other thing. This money came at a time when really odds, things were against me. And then as yaka motho mmalo sibilo ka nagana gore badimo ba nkgopotse. Nothing more. Kore se ne ke batla go se ira fela go gore ne ke nagana gore ke le tlhogonolo and le tlhogonolo tlile my way. Now I really had I known from the beginning gore madia ga se gore motho na mpha ene na sa bless na sa towards my way, and I expected gore maybe after some few days these people would have recalled back this money, but nothing happened.
Yes, but remember that we are not talking about 14,000 rand. We are not talking about 140,000 rand that was spent by Miss Man.
Yes.
If she withdraw, let's say 14,000 or 20,000.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It could have been solved internally and so forth. But out of the 14 million, she went on a shopping spree of 800 and something thousand rand.
Yes.
Remember, she was expecting 1,100 rand.
Yes.
In a short period of time, she spent almost a million rand, which is 800 and something thousand rand.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That's where it ignites the issue of the intention of this person. If it was 14,000, she will say, I thought it's in advance or whatever. She can come with a reason. Remember, in law, we need a person to give a story which is reasonable and possibly true. But how will she justify that she was expecting 1,400 rand and then she spent 800,000 rand, more than 800,000 rand? How will she justify?
Now, okay.
Hence, the court saw that indeed this person had an intention to permanently deprive the owner possession of this man.
Now somebody is saying, Hore, an error could have been 14,000 rand, but more zeros after that, that ain't an error. Araisa tolele pos. Are chelete o ne ya ko mutung o mongwe. It's just that Hore feleletse ewetse mo accountong ya mani sentle yona go ya ka ene e ne e lebisitswe ko lefelo le lengwe ya wela mo accountong ya mme mani ya nong kore kone ya ko teng ne ntse yo jiwa le ko teng. But now the reason mani a tshwere o tshwere ka ntata gore batho ba gone ba the agent kere this is what the people are saying. This agents, they were sending it to somebody else. Kone yo jiwa situ go sa bui sepe. Now ya end up I went to mani. Now that is why ba bula case against money theft, and that is why le ngwana wa modimo a crucifylwa bogodu bo eleng gore ga itse sepe ka bona.
All right. That Ramatsos, re ke example eche. You are a driver.
Yes.
There's a car in front of you. It's approaching a robot. The robot becomes amber or it becomes red. Let's say it becomes red. The car pass.
Yes.
What is your legal duty and a moral duty is to stop on the red robot.
Yes.
But if you pass and then you cause an accident, you can't say, no, I passed because that other one passed.
Yes. Yes.
It remains with you.
Okay. Ke a gutla re mo fuke. Ya no gona le dipuo tse dingwe tse buiwang ke batho gore go na le, especially they still in the academia. Bare ka around 2018 UJ executives ba ile ba tsa about 14 million rand from the University of Johannesburg, ne, which they channeled it into their companies, ba berekisa fraudulent invoices. We still at universities. And then batho ba kupilwe gore ba buse tšhelete eo. That is all that was said. They took 14 million. Money has taken 800,000. This ones, they took 14 million rand, but all that was said, they must return the money. Now, where is justice then?
At this stage, legally speaking, you requested me to come and speak legally.
Yes.
Yes. Can I preserve or not say anything, because some that are being dealt with political.
Okay.
Of which I'm a dwarf when it comes to political opinion. I'm a dwarf.
Yes.
But listeners at home, they're correct to raise such issues.
Yes.
But I feel that the lawyers of Ms. Mani, they could have saved a criminal record.
Yes.
They could have tried other means to settle this matter out of court.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Because getting a criminal record is difficult. We all know that it's difficult to get a job, especially where dishonesty is an element of the offense.
Yes.
So I believe they could have tried and settled this matter out of court and plead that the money will be repaid, as there are people now who are willing to assist the lady to repay the money.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes, I think that they could have taken that route at that particular time.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
now you must not drop. We just going to take a short break, and then we will then be inviting the listeners. The president has not yet started talking. We will then invite the listeners to also come in. Remofuke rutlo gore bone ba ikutlwa yang ka kganye.
All right, Njalo.
Re mogo moretsi re boa morago ga go utlwa tautona wa Afrika Borwa re bolella dikgang tse leng gore for the past 2 years we have been waiting to hear this good news. Re mo fokeng o mutlile tautona
Ke mo utlwile Rara Matsosi.
Primo president a re ha re sa tlholo re le mo di level di tswile se setseng fela a re we will be in a transitional period for about 30 days. Re itshokile ka di mask gongwe le tsone ba tla felletsa ba re di latlhile a re no le business we back in business. For a very long time it has been difficult. Quite a number of people were affected by these lockdowns. I think it's a great relief for quite a number of our people, and especially business people. Ke tsa gore le lona ya ka ba bueledi le itumetse.
Yeah, hey, it's been a very, very tough 2.5 years.
Yeah, it has been a difficult one. Now, yeah, Remofukeng, gane re tsa motautona re ne re feletse mo eleng gore re ne ntse ra tlhatlha khanyona ya money. But now I want us to then move le ko katlholo kgotlatshekelo e feleleditseng e ntshitse kgatlhano le ena. But before re ya go na le ntlha engwe la tletseng ke moreetsi mo ke rata gore ke fitise moreetsi are advocate Ramatsosa. Is this not an issue of negligence? Firstly, money didn't steal the money the money received. I received a notification, okay. Quentin van Berg, who Eskom mistakenly paid 40 billion into his own account and it was never recovered. He was never prosecuted or even went for trial. The justice system is not fair. These are two similar mistakes, but they are treated differently. On our WhatsApp line, Ramofukeng, Hagitsu or Aunali inputi, Mosamoretia Sibuangare, Are Honale Quentin van der Berg. I know earlier on you said you're going to speak the law. But normally, justice. The law applies across board, applies to everyone, and then we are all equal before the law. Now, Moretia Quentin van der Berg, na utlogetswe mani o prosecutile. What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one. Considering where our country comes from, because hence I said the issue money could have been solved out of court. There are measures that could have been employed to make sure that we save this young girl who's at the university trying to brighten her future. You understand? But unfortunately, that some legal representatives we don't approach matters the same. You understand?
Yes.
Hence, I said again we have prosecutors who are not consistent to say.
Yes.
You understand? Because it's a same, if not similar cases, to say both could have been prosecuted, both could have been convicted as we speak, but now the problem is one. What makes South Africans to become angry is the fact that this is a black young lady,
Yes.
and then there's a white guy with more money than this young black lady.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So it's unfortunate that those who are dominant at some stage, they make these people to be furious. They make the country to be furious because they must treat a banana with a banana.
Yes.
An apple with an apple.
Yes.
So sometimes you find a situation where an apple has been compared to a pineapple.
Yes.
You understand? Only to find that these are two different things, or the same thing that is being treated different.
Yes.
So, yeah, hence I'm saying, I'm still stuck to say the legal representative of Ms. Mani could have pushed this matter to be solved out of court so that we save this young lady a criminal record.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
let's come to the issue, yeah, sentence. 5 years, direct imprisonment. Ga kgotlatshekelo e ntsha segwebo kgatlhanong le motho ke eng tse di lebellwang?
Ntate Ramathusa ke ntlha tse tharo tse lekgotla la di shebellang. Ya pele ke personal circumstances tsa mokusuwa.
Yes.
Tsa bophelo ba hae, and then ya bobedi ke taba ya the seriousness of the offense.
Yes.
And then the third one is the interest of justice.
Yes.
In this instance, Ntate Ramathusa, personally,
Yes.
I feel that the court emphasized too much on the issue of the seriousness of the offense, not considering that this young girl is the first offender, she's a student
Yes.
at university, she's still very young. You know, age is one of the mitigating factors
Yes.
which influence the court to come to a decision.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I agree that there's no law that says first offenders cannot be sent to prison.
Yes.
But the personal circumstances of this child on its own speaks volume than what the seriousness of the offense can be considered. Remember, you just made an example with this ESCOM guy.
Yes.
You are talking millions.
Yes.
I'm not saying 800,000 is a little money, but what I'm saying is, considering what is happening currently in our country,
Yes.
politicians are facing prosecution of millions of friends.
Yes.
But they're still with us outside.
Yes.
Old people who are in government, they're still in money, they're still with us outside.
Yes.
But this young lady who has a brighter future in front of her,
Yes.
I believe that the court had emphasized more on the seriousness of the offense rather than considering the personal circumstances, because these three elements must be balanced appropriately.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But I feel that the court considered the seriousness of the offense more than her personal circumstances.
Yes. You know, there's a leading case of Zin that speaks about the issue of mercy. When that courts must at least dilute their judgments. Di tsenye kutlwelo botlhoko mo kotlhaong e leng gore di a entsha. Now mo kgetseng ye ya ka bua ka kganya gore ile la lebella the seriousness of the offense. A mme ga o lebeletse kganya gore lekgotla le lone le tshwanetse le leke gore mo la ntse le lebeletse the seriousness gore judgment a lone le ke le fuduwe ka kutlwelo botlhoko mme kutlwelo botlhoko ile ya bereka fa.
I believe that the court could have considered postponing the sentence.
Yes.
Because by law, the court is allowed to postpone the sentence.
Yes.
Until a particular occurrence happens.
Yes.
In this instance, it was simple to postpone the sentence until the lady goes work, and then when she's employed, they can recall her and say, let's issue or let's sentence you in terms of Section 300.
Yes.
Which is a compensation order that the court will make for her to repay the money over a certain period of time.
Yes.
Which is a sentence which is available to court, but the court ignores such options when sentencing Miss Money. They only focus on the seriousness of this offense by saying this is a serious offense and then he must go to prison.
Now, there was also a correctional report that was given. The correctional department had said that a custodial sentence would not be appropriate because the jails or kgotsa ditoronko di tletse mo teng lekgotla a mmele le this report di a le foster gore lekgotla le di consider le di tse and then le di implement kgotsa la di report tsentse di irilwe lekgotla le khona gore le di kgapele ko thoko e be le itsamela le se le itsamela le sone because report ile ga ya ntshiwa ke reng gore no a fuwe what is called a non-custodial sentence gore eska nna se kwebo se leng gore se mo romela ko tronko so ya no ga le khotla le gore ga le tse ntwe yo mosola a yona report o ke
hence I'm saying that the court, because if there's a correctional report or a pre-sentence report before court, it is therefore recommendation to say whether the accused is the candidate to be sent to prison.
Yes.
That report outlines the personal circumstances of the accused.
Yes. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So the court here was blind. I believe it was blind not to consider
the report.
Yes.
Because they are there for people. It's a pre-sentence, it's a correctional supervision. Those two reports are there to guide the court to say what kind of a person. Remember, she was not convicted of a violent crime.
Yes.
Which one can say she does not deserve to be among the community.
Yes.
Is that the issue of dishonesty on their part?
Now, yes. Now, again, on the issue of sentence, you have said that the court also looks at the interest of justice. Now, I want to know, this interest of justice, is it ignorant of the public view in as far as it relates to the sentence? Because we have seen the outrage. The majority of people society se marketse se tshogile batho ba itshwere dithogo gore a mme motho a ka bolwa ka tsela a bolailweng ka teng a irile molatong tsenyana.
The court was supposed to consider that, because when you talk about the issue of the interest of justice,
yes,
any ordinary South African believes that.
Ramufukeng, are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm saying the interest of justice.
Yes.
Any ordinary citizen of the country believe that the sentence itself is shockingly inappropriate.
Yes.
And the court should have considered to say, yes, legally speaking, they are accused that committed this offense. But mercy has to be exercised.
Yes.
Over this particular person.
Yeah.
Yes. Because when we talk about the interest of justice, it is what the community is expecting from court.
Yes.
Now as we speak, I believe callers will say the court was wrong to send this child. It will be 10% of the population that will say she deserves it, but majority will say it was harsh and inappropriate.
Again, in as far as it relates to sentence remove care, another school of thought that says sentences must also send a message to the society that this kind of a conduct would not be condoned by the courts. In essence, an element of deterrence, for they must deter the offender from committing for re-offending again, and also those must also send a message to them, or they must not commit a similar offense, because if they commit a similar offense, they will be sentenced to a custodial sentence. So what's your take on that?
Remember that the sentence must fit the crime and criminal.
Yes.
But here, one can say we have, one can say an innocent criminal, if there's such a term.
Yes.
The community, which the court wants to teach, to say, you receive money, you declare.
Yes.
Then sympathize with the criminal.
Yes.
Yes. Now, if the court becomes harsh to this particular criminal, the society is losing confidence in the legal system.
Are you now saying there was no rehabilitative element of sentence in that one?
Yes, yes.
Hore ngwana ga agiwe wa bolaiwa ya nomfa.
Yes, exactly. Remember, the aim of the sentence is to correct.
Yes.
the offender.
Yes.
So in this instance, from the south, she's a student at the university. She's very young.
Yes.
You consider that.
Yes.
So this person has the future ahead of her.
Yes.
Instead of breaking her or sacrificing her on the altar of punishment,
Yes.
why can't I just correct this child?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That's
Now,
what the interest of justice says. It must be corrected. The sentence must not destroy.
Yes. Yes.
It must correct.
yes.
Yes.
Now,
In this instance, the sentence was not corrected. It was destructive.
sure. Now, there's another decision that was made by the Sasolburg Regional Court last week. I'll just give you briefly the facts of what happened in this instance. It's an attorney whom it is alleged, we're speaking about the issue of sentence. I want to marry the two. Now, this attorney instituted proceedings against the state for unlawful arrest on behalf of a client.
Yes.
An amount of 60,000 rand was paid into his trust account, and he took that money for himself. The client never saw that money, and then he was convicted of theft. And then being convicted on theft, his sentence was that, number one, he must pay 41,000 rand back within 90 days. Number two, he was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, which was wholly suspended for 5 years.
Yes.
Yes. And, okay.
Yes. That is what we call a corrective sentencing.
Yes.
Out of the 60,000, I believe the lawyer was supposed to have a certain fee.
Yes.
And then the balance that was supposed to be given to a client is that 41,000 rand.
Yes.
In that circumstances, I would say the court was vigilant that it must be a retributive justice. Let us not destroy this person. Let's correct him.
Yes.
To say, next time you get this particular issue, deal it with this way. Failure, this will be the result. You are correcting a person.
But Ramufuke, now I'm having a problem with the law and the courts.
Yes.
Here are two people found guilty of theft.
Yes.
The other one gets a suspended sentence. The other one gets direct imprisonment. Isn't it that this lady justice is blind? He's not looking at the person. He's applying the law without considering the person. Where is the application of the law without the consideration of the person in these situations?
Yeah, I believe in Mazi's case, Mr. Ramatosa, that the court has erred. Court made a mistake when sentencing this to a child.
Yes.
Because she was the first offender.
Yes.
Hence, I'm saying the personal circumstances of this child speak more volume.
Yes.
And then here again.
Advocate Mufkeni?
Yes, I'm saying on the second scenario.
Yes.
We have a professional person.
Yes.
Who's entrusted with people's money.
Yes.
And then he used people's money.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Those are two different scenarios.
Yes.
But when court considers the issue of sentence, the court has to look at the personal. I believe in this instance, the court look at the personal circumstances of the person, whether there's a chance of the attorney to be rehabilitated.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But in this instance of Miss Money, I believe that the court erred, seriously so.
Now, what recourse does money have in under those circumstances as we close?
If I was attorney or advocate, as they file a leave to appeal.
Yes.
Yes. You go there, you argue.
Now, what happens in a situation if maybe the judge says, the magistrate says, no, I'm not giving you that leave to appeal?
Then we petition the magistrate to the High Court.
Okay. Now, Advocate Mufkeng Relebogile, se re jeleng ke nako. I believe this was very educative. I see that there are also people who have been listening to us from all the way to Botswana. I see one of the prosecutor in Botswana, Mr. Kwaka, is also following us in Gaborone. I see Mr. Kipurile Jeffrey also from Gaborone. Gaboetele Moloi also from Gaborone. I see quite a number of people. They are interested and impressed with this thing, all the way from Carltonville, Volmaranstad. We see and acknowledge them, the people who have been following us here in Aganang FM Moho Reatwelela. We acknowledge you. We even see members of parliament. They have been listening to us. Maybe they will also assist with the amendment of our laws, Ramufuken, so that Melawen Mintle, Wrestle, Sikolon Tapo Redite. Yano Moretu Aganang FM, Oilon Hore Obata Kopanale, Advocate Mufuken, Monaco Kai.
But he practiced too much for the Meraso area.
Yes.
Yes. My number is 067.
067.
Yes. 054.
054.
6399.
6399. So Advocate Mufuke Mukrehamo 067 054 6399 Moretsi wa Ganang FM ga ele gore o batla go ikopanya le ena a go rarabolele di khantsa semolao o mo krea gone fo nako ile fufa. There's nothing as jealous as time, Advocate. It has overtaken us. We would have laughed for a phone because I know this is one of those topics they are very much interested in. Even Motariswame Monte came mona time and again where Makadi now. How do I guarantee how do Malanelo where Makadi now? How could Kitaka Potra Batanko Kitaka where Makadi now? So it's a very interesting topic. Relevant for your time. Read 2 minutes na kwa Holeka Mosora Mofuke. Thank you. Moretsi, we have came to an end of our program. I hope it's a burning issue. We had wanted to we will find time or discuss these sentences. We will call them these lawyers. But dilo tse tsa bone tse di tsamayang tsa semolao re lebogile re tla boa re kopana gape mo bekeng e tlang same time same place re ka 7 o'clock ba bolelle re tlebe re tsena lenaneo ke re bua molao ga gona sepe se re se bua re bua molao fela. Till next time, Modimo ke yo.